Hi everyone, I am Dr. Nidhi Khare and today I am going to tell you about the core skills which are needed to manage your team. These skills are known as the team management skills. So students, imagine you've just got a new job as a manager. Congratulations. Or maybe you've just been given the task of pulling a new team together. That's a big challenge. Now either way, whether your team exists already or it's your responsibility to create it, what do you do next? This is what I am going to discuss today. So in today's lecture, we will look at some of the important things that team managers need to do if their team is to thrive and succeed. These may range from choosing the right people and deciding who does what to communicating with, developing and motivating people. I'll also cover some of the most common things that should be avoided. Management is essential in every walk of life. Even what we eat should be managed. You just can't put anything in your mouth, right? One needs to be cautious. In the same way, a team must be managed effectively to expect the best from the team members. The team leaders play an essential role in managing his team well. So we'll discuss the effective skills needed for managing a team. So for effective team management, it is very important that the team leader is more of a mentor to his team members rather than just being a strict boss. Understand your team members well. Gone are the days when people used to fear their bosses. Nowadays, employees share a healthy relation with their superiors, and the comfort level has increased to a large extent. So don't impose things on them. Ensure that each and every team member willingly participates in team discussions. Debates are important, but make sure you don't end up fighting with each other. Suggestions must be invited from all and do not discuss issues separately with individuals. Call everyone on an open forum and formulate strategies keeping in mind everybody's inputs. Policies should be made best suited to all. The objective of the team must be clearly set and circulated among all the team members. Everyone should be aware of his roles and responsibilities in the team. The team members must not pass on any information to anyone outside the team. Learn to keep things to yourself because it is unethical to share your professional secrets with others. Don't leak information or any confidential data. The team members must be motivated on a regular basis. Appreciation is must. If any team member has performed extraordinarily, do give him a pat on his back. Appreciate him. Performance appraisals, perks, incentives, trophies, prizes are all instrumental in motivating the team members to perform even better the next time. Loose talks, blame games, dirty politics should find no place in the team. They spoil the environment and people lose interest in their work and organization. If you come to know anything about someone, it's better to discuss with him face to face, else please ignore. Don't make it an issue. Developing your team. Teams are made up of individuals who have different outlooks and abilities and are at different stages of their careers. Some may find that the tasks you have allocated to them are challenging and they may need support. Others may be old hands at what they are doing and may be looking for opportunities to stretch their skills. Either way, it's your responsibility to develop all of your people. Your skills in this aspect of management will define your long-term success as a manager. If you can help team members to become better at what they do, you'll be a manager who people aspire to work for. and you'll make a great combination for your organization as well. So it will be a very good contribution from your side and your teams also. The most effective way of developing your people is to ensure that you give regular feedback to members of your team. Many of us are nervous of giving feedback, especially when it has to be negative. However, if you give and receive feedback regularly, everyone's performance will improve. Communicating is very important. There should be clear communication. Communication skills are essential for success in almost any role, but there are particular skills and techniques that you will use more as a manager than you did as a regular worker. So basically, communicating with team members and communicating with people outside your team are two important skills that are very important. We'll look at each in turn. So first is communicating with people in your team. As a team manager, you are likely to be chairing regular sessions as well as one-off meetings. Meetings of all kinds and regular ones in particular are notorious for wasting people's time. So it's well worth mastering the skill of running effective meetings. Many meetings include brainstorming sessions. As a team manager, you'll often have to facilitate these. You'll need to be comfortable with doing this. There's more to this than simply coming up with creative ideas, as you do when you are just a regular participant in such a session. Make sure that you understand where they can go wrong and what you can do to avoid this. Active listening is another important skill for managers and others to master. When you are in charge, it can be easy to think that you know what others are going to say, or that listening is less important because you have thought of a solution anyway. But most good managers are active listeners. It helps them detect problems early, while they are still easy to deal with, avoid costly misunderstandings, and build trust within their teams. Second is communicating with people outside your team. Your boss is probably the most important person you need to communicate with. Take time to understand fully what your boss wants from you and your team. If you know exactly what your boss likes and how he or she prefers this to be delivered, you'll be better able to meet with his or her approval. Also, as a manager, part of your job is to look after your team and protect it from unreasonable pressure. Learn skills like assertiveness and win-win negotiation so that you can either turn work away or negotiate additional resources. Managing discipline. However much you hope that you won't have to do it, there comes a time in most managers' careers when they have to discipline an employee. Discipline may be subtly different from basic feedback because it doesn't always relate specifically to the employee's work. You can give feedback, on their phone manner, for example, but handling problems with timekeeping or personal grooming can need a different approach. So, managing the discipline is very important. It is easy to create a team, but it is actually difficult to bind the team members together and even make them work. Team management techniques help in strengthening the bond among the employees and creating an environment where they can trust each other. People actually become friends and start working together as a result of team management activities. Importance of delegation. The top priority for team managers is delegation. No matter how skilled you are, there's only so much that you can achieve working on your own. With a team behind you, you can achieve so much more. That's why it's so important that you delegate effectively. Successful delegation starts with matching people and tasks. So you first need to explain what your team's role and goals are. A good way of doing this is to put together a team charter, which sets out the purpose of the team and how it will work. Not only does this help you get your team off to a good start, it can also be useful for bringing the team back on track if it's veering off course. Working in teams can be fantastic if team members work well together. However, if people are pulling in different directions, the experience can be awful. What's worse is that without sufficient direction, teams can focus on the wrong objectives, can fail to use important resources, and can fail with sometimes dire consequences for the organization. Team charters are documents that define the purpose of the team, how it will work, and what the expected outcomes are. They are roadmaps that the team and its sponsors create at the beginning of the journey to make sure that all involved are clear about what they are doing, where they are heading, and to give direction when times get tough. For teams to get off on the right foot, team charters should be drawn up when the team is formed. This helps to make sure that everyone is focused on the right things from the start. However, drawing up a team charter can also be useful if a team is in trouble and people need to regain their view of the big picture. In particular, it will speed the process of team formation, that is, forming, storming, norming, and performing, meaning that the team becomes effective much more quickly. Now you can adapt these elements to your team's situation. Context, mission and objectives, composition and roles, authority and empowerment, resources and support, operations, negotiation and agreement. We'll take each of these in detail. Context. This is the introduction to the charter. It sets out why the team was formed, the problem it's trying to solve, how this problem fits in with the broader objectives of the organization, and the consequences of the problem going unchecked. What problem is being addressed? What result or delivery is expected? And why is this important? Mission and objectives. This is at the heart of the charter. By defining a mission, the team knows what it has to achieve. Without a clear mission, individuals can too easily pursue their own agendas independently, and sometimes irrespective of the overarching goal. The next stage is to take the mission and turn it into measurable goals and objectives. These are the critical targets and milestones that will keep the team on track. Some example of the goals are to interview country managers and product managers to identify why they think countries are not working together, and maybe the survey to be completed and presented to the CEO by March 31st. Another goal may be to refine proposals and present to regional management meeting on April 25th. So these are some of the examples. Composition and roles. Teams are most effective when they have members with the skills and experience needed to do the job. Team members can bring experience and approaches from a range of different backgrounds. They have enough people to do the job, but not so many that people get bogged down in communication. So basically, 7 is an ideal number of people, and it's quite manageable. They have representation from involved functions, departments, units, or other relevant category of stakeholders. So look to your mission and objectives to determine who is needed on the team to make sure its goals can be accomplished. Once you know who should be on your team, you need to look at what each person will do to support the team in its mission. While this may seem like overkill at the very beginning of team formation, it will help you match team members to roles. It will help you spot gaps in skills and abilities that are necessary for the team to reach its goals. The best way to go about this is to list each team member and define the roles and responsibilities of each. Who will be the team leader? Who is the liaison between the team and the other stakeholders? Who is responsible for what duties and outcomes? Authority and empowerment. With the roles defined, you need to look at what team members can and can't do to achieve the mission. How much time should team members allocate to the team mission, and what priority do team activities have relative to other ongoing activities? How should team members resolve any conflicts between their day jobs and the team mission? What budget is available in terms of time and money? Can the team recruit new team members? What can the team do? What can it not do? And what does it need prior approval to do? Resources and support. Now, resources and support available to the team to accomplish its goals. This includes budgets, time, equipment, and people. In conjunction with the performance assessments, changes to the resources required should be monitored regularly. As well as this, it details the training and coaching support available to the team to help it do its job. Operations. Operations outlines how the team will operate on a day-to-day basis. This can be as detailed or as minimal as the situation warrants. It may be comprehensive and detailed for a long duration team or limited to a few bullet points in a team that is expected to have a short lifespan. Negotiation and agreement. A good team charter emerges naturally through a process of negotiation. The team's client establishes the context and mission, objectives, composition, roles, boundaries, and resources ideally emerge through negotiation between the sponsor, the team leader, the team, and other stakeholders. Last but not least comes approval. This is where all members of the team sign off on the charter and commit to the principles it contains and the roles and responsibilities detailed. This is a symbolic gesture that communicates full commitment to the mission and objectives. It also helps to create accountability to one another and to the organization. Now, there are a number of common mistakes that new managers tend to make. You have to take care to avoid them. Thinking that you can rely on your existing job knowledge and technical skills to succeed as a manager is a big mistake. It is essential that you take the time to develop good management and people skills as well. These can be more important than your technical skills. Failing to consult regularly with your boss in a misguided attempt to show that you can cope on your own. Approaching your boss without having thought a problem through and without having considered how the problem could be solved is another mistake. Embarrassing your boss or letting him or her get a nasty surprise. Follow the no surprises rule. Doing anything that requires your boss to defend you to others is also a mistake. It should be avoided. This can cause your boss to lose faith with his peers and superiors, and it makes it look as if his team is out of control. Failing to talk to your customers about what they want from yourself and your team is another mistake. Lastly, using your authority inappropriately. Make sure that everything you ask people to do is in the interest of the organization. Many of these points sound obvious. However, it's incredibly easy to make these mistakes in the rush of everyday managerial life. So you need to avoid these. When you move from being a worker to a line manager, you need to develop a new set of skills and make use of new tools and techniques. These will help you with the key management activities of organizing, motivating, developing, and communicating with your team. Above all, learn how to delegate effectively. However, also learn how to motivate people, develop team members, communicate effectively with people inside and outside your team, and manage discipline effectively. Thank you.